Have you ever heard people say Article 370 was removed? Everyone says it, but not many can explain what it actually was, why it existed, why was it given to Jammu and Kashmir, why was it removed after 70 years, and most importantly, how life changed after it ended. Today on Page Pulse Bailey, we are not going to debate, we are going to learn. No shouting, no exaggeration, just truth. So let's find out what was Article 370 and what really changed in Kashmir. Article 370 was a temporary provision in the Indian Constitution. It gave special status to Jammu and Kashmir after India's independence. Let's rewind a bit. In 1947, when India became free, all princely states had a choice to make: join India, join Pakistan, or stay independent. Jammu and Kashmir was one of those princely states. But before a final decision was made, tribal invaders supported by Pakistan crossed the border and attacked Kashmir. Faced with an invasion and his people under threat, Maharaja Hari Singh made a crucial decision. On 26 October 1947, he signed the Instrument of Accession, officially choosing to join the Indian Union in return for the military help. But unlike other princely states, Jammu and Kashmir's journey didn't follow the usual path. The situation was delicate. The region had just faced an invasion. Tensions were high, and the leadership wanted certain protections for its identity and autonomy. To respect these unique concerns, the Indian government added Article 370 to the Constitution. This article gave Jammu and Kashmir a special status, and that meant it would operate differently from the rest of India. While other Indian states followed one constitution, Jammu and Kashmir had its own. Parliament couldn't freely make laws for the state. In fact, the Indian government could only legislate on 3 subjects: defense, foreign affairs, and communications. And even those needed approval from the Jammu and Kashmir state government. This special arrangement led to big differences in how things worked in Kashmir. No Indian law, not even important ones like the right to education, right to information, or anti-corruption audits, applied unless Jammu and Kashmir's assembly agreed. People from other states couldn't buy land or settle there. Only classified as permanent residents had the right to own property, get government jobs, or receive scholarships. Jammu and Kashmir had its own state flag, and until 2019, it flew alongside the national flag. A separate set of rules governed citizenship, property rights, and fundamental freedoms, unique to the state alone. For decades, this arrangement continued. Some saw it as a way to protect Kashmir's culture and autonomy. Others believed it kept Kashmir separate from the rest of India. But one thing was clear: no other states in India had power like this. Jammu and Kashmir was the only one with a special legal and constitutional identity, all because of Article 370. For over 70 years, Article 370 shaped the unique relationship between Jammu and Kashmir and the rest of India. But over time, a question kept coming up. Should one state have such a different set of rules from the rest of the country? Supporters said Article 370 was a promise, a commitment made during accession. They believed it helped protect the region's culture, land, and identity. But critics argued that it had stopped full integration. that it kept Kashmir separate, not just geographically but emotionally and legally. They also pointed out practical issues. Many central laws related to education, transparency and social justice didn't just reach the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Corruption was harder to tackle without national audits. Women who married outside the state risked losing their permanent resident status. And most importantly, development seen in other Indian states was much slower in parts of Jammu and Kashmir. For years, governments debated what to do. But in August 2019, the Indian government made a historic move. On 5th August 2019, Article 370 was effectively removed through a presidential order, followed by Parliament's approval. It wasn't just a legal announcement. The government also passed the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act, which split the state into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir with a legislative assembly, Ladakh without a legislative. It was one of the most significant and controversial decisions in India's recent history. For some, it was a bold step towards national unity. For others, it raised a question about democracy, consent and process. But one thing was certain, the change was real and the impact was massive. After the removal of Article 370, Jammu and Kashmir experienced a series of major legal and administrative changes. For the first time, all Indian laws applied directly without needing state approval. The permanent resident rule was scrapped, allowing people from other parts of India to buy land and apply for jobs. The separate constitution of Jammu and Kashmir was dissolved. The dual flag system ended. Only the Indian national flag would now be official. Jammu and Kashmir stopped being a full-fledged state and became a union territory governed directly by the central government. Alongside these changes, the government announced major plans for infrastructure, tourism, education and healthcare. Some reports said that after Article 370 was removed, street protests and attacks like people throwing stones at the police had reduced. But even then, the presence of security forces remained strong across the region. But these changes came with serious challenges. Internet and phone services were suspended for months. Political leaders were detained. Movement and communication were restricted. These actions led to criticism both within India and internationally, especially on human rights grounds. Gradually, restrictions were lifted. Local elections resumed. Slowly, things started moving back to normal. For some, this brought hope and peace for equality. For others, it created a fear about identity, trust, and long-term intentions. The people of Jammu and Kashmir are still finding their way forward, and whether this brings lasting progress, only time can answer that. Many people still have doubts or misunderstandings about Article 370. Let's clear up a few. Number 1. Article 370 was permanent. The fact is, it was always meant to be temporary, placed under a section titled Special Provisions in the Constitution. Number 2. Article 370 is what made Kashmir part of India. The fact is, no. Kashmir became part of India in 1947 through the instrument of accession. Article 370 only defined how that relationship would function. Number 3. Removing Article 370 separated Kashmir from India. The fact is, not at all. Kashmir was a part of India and will always remain a part of India. What changed was only the special legal status, not its place in the country. Number 4. Everything changed overnight. The fact is, Laws change quickly, but progress takes time. Peace, trust, and development are still ongoing. When you know the truth, you won't get lost in opinions. You'll know exactly what you're talking about. You might wonder, why should we care about Article 370? Because this isn't just about laws or politics. It's about people. It's about identity. Jammu and Kashmir isn't just a state. It's an emotion, a culture, a crown of India. Article 370 was a historical step taken under special conditions. Its removal was also a historical movement meant to be bringing uniformity, equality, and integration. But the real question is, has life truly improved for the people of Kashmir? Only time, data, and honest conversations will answer that. So the next time someone says, "Do you know what happened with Article 370?" you can proudly say, "Yes, I do." And not because you heard it in a debate, but because you understood the facts. Knowledge is power and curiosity is the key. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more awesome stories and discoveries. Until my next video, stay curious and keep exploring. Signing off, Page Pulse Diary. See you next time.